Okay, 90 seconds off start time for the running of race number 1 here. The Challenge Drilling Maiden, good go with Call It Alone, backed into favouritism with fixed odds now. $3.80 ahead of Elusive Dream at $3.90, Schnoots at $4.20. So punters struggling to send out a outright favourite here. Thanks, Leia. Tab radio on board nice and early here for the running of race number 1. Galaxian Girl, the first one to go forward. Well beaten last start, but being kept safe in the market at $8.50. Elusive Dream, the newcomer to the Peter Fernie stable, about to link along. Elusive Dream, Braden Garth in the saddle. Emity's Ace coming forward, coming off that last start, second behind the big one. And Spaghetti to come forward. Spaghetti, a former Adam Durant trained galloper, goes forward, and in the meantime, the actual Durant trained galloper's about to come forward. Call It Alone, who's been well backed into 380 with Tab Touch. So just a handful to come forward here, and we'll be set for the running of race 1. Call It Alone and La Patrona, the last two to come forward. Diamond Sapphire has been locked away. Victoria Corver aboard Diamond Sapphire, and here comes La Patrona for Austin Galati, who has a nice book of rides today. A bit later on, he gets on some top weights and gives them a bit of weight relief with his 2 kilo claim. Okay, 1,100 metres ahead of them. This is the Challenge Drilling Maiden standby. We're set over at the 1,100. Signal given. And the gates fly back. They're off racing. Now Ebony's Ace with early speed, pushing forward as well. Call It Alone with Schnoots and La Patrona in the top 4 early on as well. They were being followed by Galaxian Girl, who gets into a nice position. Elusive Dream on the improve out wider. Then came Spaghetti, who settles down second last. And last of all, Diamond Sapphire with 7.50 to run. They head to the Charles Street side of the course. And it's Call It Alone who shows the way, 3/4 of a length. La Patrona. They were followed by Ebony's Ace down on the inside third. Schnoots working overtime. Then Elusive Dream, who's ended up in a nice position 5th. They were followed by Diamond Sapphire. Then came Galaxian Girl, who's relegated to second last, and last of all Spaghetti. 400 metres to run on the point of the turn, and it's Call It Alone well back. CJP lets him go now. Call It Alone by a length and a half. The outside La Patrona. Then came Elusive Dream, who's getting into the clear. Ebony's Ace further back to Schnoots. It's Call It Alone with 200 metres to run. La Patrona the outside issuing the challenge. Call It Alone lifting. La Patrona, they stride to the line. Call It Alone, give it to La Patrona. La Patrona the outside of Call It Alone. Elusive Dream third. They were followed in next of all by Ebony's Ace, then Spaghetti, followed in by Schnoots, and then came Diamond Sapphire, and a distant last was Galaxian Girl. Bit of an upset here in the first. La Patrona at 15.60 and 3.40. has got the head down on the line to deny the heavily backed Call It Alone, who will have to settle for second. 8 goes into the frame. La Patrona for Peter Fernie and Austin Galati. Of course, Peter saddled up 2 in this race, but the outsider of the 2 has got up here to deny Call It Alone, and the stablemate of the winner in Elusive Dream has finished third. 5 gets fourth. That's Ebony's Ace. 8, 2, 1 and 5. 105.69. The winning gallop for La Patrona. A short neck by a length. Short neck by a length. But La Patrona beat one home at its track debut here. Last start, beaten 7 lengths, has turned the tables today and gunned down Call It Alone in the final stages, winning by a short neck. 8, 2, 1 and 5, the interim numbers after the running of race number 1. Well, La Patrona for Peter Fernie and Austin Galati by Patronise from Secret Scandal, owned by Tina Taylor, Mrs. L. Taylor, P. Quartermain and W. Coucher. La Patrona, your winner. Ahead of number 2, Call It Alone for Adam Durant and CJP. by Patronize from Carna Ford, owned by Adam Durant, the Yarradale Stud Syndicate, A. Phelan, B. Willison, T. Morrissey, A. Belusi, P. Wildermoth, T. Williams, J. Elliott, N. Armitage and M. Taddis. Third in the 1, Elusive Dream for Peter Fernie and Braden Garth, by Palantino from Desi's Dream, owned by R. Williams Breeding Syndicate, J. Carone, P. Bell, P. Kochi, and also D. Hoare. Fourth in the 5, Ebony's Ace for John Lugg and Jordan Turner. 8, 2, 1 and 5 the numbers there after the running of race 1. Race 2 is next, the Terra Drilling Maiden. It comes up at 1:35 and we've got a field of 12 to face the starter over the 1400 metres. Good little race coming up. In the meantime, 8, 2, 1 and 5 interim race 1 Kalgoorlie.